What's up, guys? Welcome back to Metroplex Fall of Cybertron. So, in case you missed it from last time, the entire freaking fortress has transformed in the form of Metroplex. So, with his assistance, let's roll out yet again. Time for another awesome driving sequence where we can just plow through all this crap in a typical awesome manner that this game does so well at times. But and there's so much destructible stuff in this environment too we can bash through, and this level was showcased at E3 to kind of demonstrate a few key things. One, the fact there's actual terrain in this game, unlike War, which is all structure environments and interior environments. So now this is what I was talking about being able to ram enemies with extreme efficiency, as I demonstrated there. You could actually ram all of those guys on that bridge if you were able to time it carefully, which I probably should have done for the extra energy on. So I am trying to get points here. I'm just not very conscious of that at times it seems in this game. So we're going to take a little break here for another encounter. Metroplex somehow got all the way over there. I suppose he does take pretty big strides being his entire freaking city, but we will forgive him for that. Instead, we will keep using the Path Blaster because the game has decided, since this is the beginning of the third mission, it wants us to have the Path Blaster again. So we'll be swapping it for something else pretty soon here, but in the meantime we'll be making good use of it while we can. And no need to worry about that dropship there because Metroplex has just already utterly destroyed it. Now, Metroplex, which I think is another nice addition to this game, I don't remember really seeing him very much in Generation 1, to be honest with you. I don't really remember many episodes of G1 that he was in, but then again, he was in Series 2 and 3, I think, which were incredibly long. So he probably had little to no relevance. Again, with just plow the living crap out of those guys. You certainly have got the touch, Prime. Ready? We're gonna do it again, yeah! I love doing that. That's awesome. But anyway, Metroplex is also in Transformers Cybertron, the series, where there was an entire planet of giant Transformers, and he wasn't an entire city, but he was still incredibly large and intimidating. He was also pretty awesome in that series, despite the numerous flaws with that series, of course. And I believe that's the only incarnation of Metroplex, or the only incarnations of Metroplex in the franchise. Now, that led me to believe that the Decepticons are going to have Scorponok in this game, but they didn't. They just have Bruticus. But I suppose if they were to make a third game, then the Decepticons could have Scorponok, and the Autobots would in that case have to have Fortress Maximus, because they already use Omega Supreme and Tripticon. So the only other ways the Decepticons can go would be Scorponok. Unfortunately, we have Metroplex, although you'll see why Metroplex would not be on Earth with us if at the end of this game we're being the third one. So I would assume that if they were to make a third one, they would have to use Fortress Maximus there, which would be awesome. Anyway, this encounter right here is basically going to be a defend the area until a certain, or kill all the enemies in the area through multiple waves until the objective is complete. And in the meantime, we're going to be fighting Leapers. And much like in the last mission, they are incredibly fun to fight, but also very, very deadly on hard, which we're flying on if I need to remind you guys. And we picked up a new weapon a little while back. I just now am mentioning this. It's the Subsonic Repeater, and it's the replacement for the Ion Blaster in this game. It's basically our submachine gun, but it's not welded to Prime's arm in this game. Prime can actually choose whatever weapons he wants, which is nice. But the only reason that feature was in the first game was to add to the dynamic of the leader class, and to make the choice of characters that add another variable to your character choices. But like I said, the Leapers are incredibly fun to fight. We also pick up a thermal rocket cannon here. It's just sort of lying around in the center. But in the later rounds here, it gets pretty hectic in this fight, though. There's like, you get like 3 Leapers at once. You have to like save your dodge for a very critical moment where you're going to have to dodge multiple attacks. And if they hit you more than twice with any attack, they'll probably kill you because of how much damage their leap does. But keep in mind the health respawns, and you probably will not run out of ammo. Especially if you have any of the perks. Or any of the upgrades of the weapons. I think, ooh, that was nice. Love how these guys explode. But you can still do damage to them anywhere by hitting them anywhere. It's just that hitting them in the back is a critical hit. And getting so many multiple critical hits actually makes the subsonic repeater pretty good in this fight. But I don't use it a whole lot, but I like that it's nice and compact. And it has an awesome sound effect. I love the effect of this gun, as well as a lot of the weapons in this game. But I think there might be, I'll check, I think there might be an accuracy upgrade for the subsonic repeater as well that I have, which is one of the things that makes it really good. So that was Ryan's ability for this level. He will be able to lock on with Metroplex for an airstrike type thing, much like the ordnance attacks in the previous level. Although it will be all the time when the game lets you do it. It's pretty much that kind of thing where you can use Metroplex's rockets whenever the game allows us to. But in those cases, we just have to, tell him where the warp cannons are, and he'll run up and destroy them. Oh, he died. Another little area over here we can only jump to, which has some extra energon, so of course we're going to go over there. I like how they repurpose the energon shards in this game, because in the first game they were just to recharge your abilities, most of which recharged naturally as it was. So, let's see, here is the Nucleon charge rifle, but I'm not going to be showing that off yet for a very specific reason. That kind of violates my whole plan I had there for which weapons I show off in which order kind of thing. So I'm going to ignore that one for that reason. But as you can see, Metroplex is extremely powerful, as he's going to go up and destroy this bridge and all of the artillery that's on it. Why did I not... I should have used that word to describe the attacks in the previous level. It's an artillery strike. I should have, why did that word not come to mind at any of those recordings, or any of this recording for that matter, until just now? It's an artillery strike. It actually even says so. Anyway, I'll be using that term from now on. I still am okay with the terms that I use, but whatever. My brain fails to function sometimes, even during LPs. Anyway, there is a slot for a fuse there, but the fuse is up above us where we started there, and I forgot to pick it up. That allows us to get into that room where that energon was and get some of that, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. I have 16,000. But I want to be careful in this area because there is a pit, but we can just kind of jump our way around here. Now, you may notice there's a level above where you start, and there's a... Oh, I broke the level! Yay! Anyway, let's see if I can get off of here. Yay! Even in newer games, I can let you remember this, ladies and gentlemen. But that's where a blueprint for a weapon is. I don't remember what weapon it is, but it might even be a tech of some kind. But I think you need to go this general direction and go up here in order to get it. And of course, I've already gotten it, so it's not going to appear. Yeah, it would be right up here where these corpses are. Just showing how to get that, because that actually confused me quite a bit, even though that door is there. I just missed that door, I guess, a few times. Or I was afraid to even go in this area because I figured I wouldn't be able to get back out, but whatever.
This is Transport 9! We're under heavy fire!
Hello, Optimus.
Let's see. So you can see the subsonic repeater there, it's fully upgraded. I'm going to adjust my setup real quick here.
Repeat, we are under
Demonstrate a new
fire.
heavy weapon. Like how that little blade deploys there on the assault rifle when I did that.
Brace for...
Metroplex,
Thanks to the
maintain
enhanced
your
melee
heading.
ability.
I'll meet you at the second warp cannon. Affirmative. I am gonna beat you
Never noticed that up there before. I don't want to actually use it. It's a waste of energy on this one because we have all the weapons. Anyway,
Metroplex, I found
now is when we can use Metroplex's artillery strikes on random enemies whenever the game allows us to. Now we can use it as many times as we want, as just wait for it to recharge. And as you can see, it's obscenely powerful, although it's kind of hard to determine where exactly you need to fire it in this encounter, because they clearly want you to use it here, but there's some of your guys in there as well, and so you don't really know where is the greatest concentration of Decepticons. So, but whatever. Not sure why I figured I'd whip out the assault rifle for this, but whatever, it works. I need to remember to use my vehicle weapons too, because they are very powerful as they were in the first game, if not more powerful. And I can hold a ridiculous amount of them, so we're not even going to bother to attack those Marauders in the normal fashion. We're just going to be using the Metroplex artillery strikes on it. And so they should recharge fast enough to where every time you engage a Marauder you can blow it up. Let's demonstrate the slingshot here. This is another heavy weapon that we have right from the beginning of the game. And it's awesome. It's one of my favorite heavy weapons in the game, just because you wouldn't think it'd be all that effective, but it pretty much instantly kills any light infantry enemy on any difficulty. So, and it travels a good distance too, and in a straight line. It's just kind of a slow-moving projectile, so it's kind of easy to dodge. But I just wanted to show that off briefly. I'll probably be using it a lot more throughout the game. But I wanted to pick up this weapon right here, the Chaos Rift Combustor, which is probably the most powerful heavy weapon as far as actual damage goes. But, God, the explosions in this game are amazing. But, here's the game is clearing out some clutter there. What's up, Warpath?
Warpath. I thought I ordered.
Well, you're not gonna bro fist me this time?
Never made it. Who's your big friend? We can't stay, Warpath. We've got to move on and destroy the last warp cannon. Optimus, we're low on energon. There's more Decepticons coming in. You leave and Optimus.
Okay. So we're gonna be attacked here, and we're gonna have Metroplex help us out any way he can. But the Chaos Rift Combustor is basically a combination of the well, it's basically like the Magma. It has traits of the Magma Frag Launcher from the previous game, although some of those traits have been adapted to the A4 Pulsar Cannon. But basically, the traits that have been adapted are you can manually detonate the projectiles, and it has an arc that you can see where it lands. But that's pretty nice actually. And you can detonate in the midair, and it will. It's very much like the mortar in Gears of War actually, kind of in the way that it behaves, the way the projectiles behave. But the way that you aim it is actually a lot more simple. The mortar in Gears of War 2 had to be a little bit difficult to aim, otherwise it would be completely broken. But don't be afraid to fall back into the cover over here, because these guys can come up right in your face, and the last thing you want to do is one of these shotgunners coming up at you and you not having any room to back up, because or them being right in your face and attempting to back up at least, because like I said when we first introduced ourselves to them, they are nasty and they can take a lot of damage. So but priority is just as soon as your airstrike or your artillery strike recharges, rather, you can go ahead and blow up the next Marauder. As you can see, the Marauders have some pretty powerful attacks, and all of our allies are not really scripted to die, but we won't really notice if they do die. It's not one of those things where they're essential to the fight here. They can't really do much of anything. But Warpath is obviously an indestructible ally, as all the other named characters are in this game. Because named characters can't die, remember? Not until Generation 1. Actually, not really until the Generation 1 movie. Then everybody dies. But that's not the point. Anyway, the Chaos Rift Combustor, we don't get the blueprint for this weapon until much later in the game, but I figured since that is a scripted spawn for it, and the game does show it off right here, that I figured it would be a good idea to show it off now, just because the game does give it to us now, and we won't be able to use it again for a while if it's your first time through, but it is a really powerful weapon. It's really good for this encounter. Anyway, back here in this fallen dropship is an X-18 Scrapmaker, and you know how much I like that thing. So we're going to pick that up, and we're going to use it some more because we're running out of ammo. Even though ammo is sort of a universal pickup for whatever weapon you're carrying at the time, you can still drop, for the most part, you can still pretty much drop a weapon for another weapon that has more ammo in it, even if, and that's a way of getting more ammo instead of picking some up, because you would think once you pick up another heavy weapon, it'll have the same ammo relative to the heavy weapon you currently have, because that's just how much ammo of that type you have, but whatever. I'm being weird. Anyway, now we're going to be attacked by the warp cannon, so it's time to haul ass out of here and go ram these guys right on their doorstep. Oh, that's awesome. And then, we realize that we have far too little health to succeed in this encounter, so we're going to get out of here and have Metroplex bomb them. That was totally badass. Dear God, Warpath. If there's any time in this game it would be appropriate to play You Got the Touch, it'd be in this level. This is very, like, this is very much inspired by that scene, I can tell. All the Optimus moments in the game are like that.
Could use some help moving it. Let's do it together. Heavier than it looks.
Oh, Warpath, why can't we play as you in this game? You were so broken.
Open for more Decepticons.